You just named all of the things you're sacrificing because of work and because you want to give your family a certain lifestyle. What I'm saying is, are you willing to sacrifice the lifestyle and maybe downsize so then that way you can minimize the damage to your body, to your health, and all of that, maximize the time with your family, and live longer for them?
Yeah, but you hear what you're saying? That sounds selfish. That you're ready to leave because you feel like you have to step up as a parent and do what you need to do. But what about the sacrifice this man is working every day? That's a sacrifice. Going to working at a and we keep saying 9 to 5. I'm talking about most guys are doing 10 to 12 hours a day. That is a sacrifice.
Or through
So
the
now you
night.
say, well, I feel like I'm doing it by myself because he ain't here to do it. Well, let me say this. You won't be going to Trader Joe's anymore. You'll be going to Ollie's and getting your groceries.
And
And
I'm
that's
willing, for
what
me, I
I'm saying
would
to
be
you.
willing to do that to have you at home. Not all women are, but for
But
me, I would be willing to do that.
we all know most women wouldn't be willing to make that sacrifice. They are not willing to make that sacrifice. So now you're not going to get to go shopping freely or go on y'all girls trip because it's not feasible because I'm not working them extra 15 hours of overtime.
And I'm
No,
sure
it's not going to
if
happen.
you
In
Real
fact, we
fast.
might not even go to go out of this
Coach
out of the state. We might have to do a vacation within our own city
So
or within our own state. And most of y'all women that's not going to go for that.
so let me just tell you this, Link. I've been listening to you talk, and the more and more you talk, the more and more your situation sounds like it makes sense because you sound like a provider. You sound like you put a lot of hours in, and that may be the reason, unfortunately, and I hate this happened to you, that ended up being the case in your situation when it came to your divorce, because it sounds like you are a provider, and unfortunately, that's one of the things that they do look for when it comes to divorce at the end, and that's the reason why you probably had to give up so much, unfortunately. Does that make sense?
No, because it wasn't the case.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll say real quick, I'll just say, and I'm sure, like, Hink, if you're working this much, I'm sure you would much rather be with your kids
Yes.
than, like, obviously
Yes.
doing this on the, yeah. I just wanted to
You
say
know,
that. I'm
the
sure
average guy
anyone,
doesn't
yeah,
like to have to work overtime
yeah.
10 to 12 hours a day. Nobody really does. I mean, you make good money, but then what about the wear and tear on your body? See, we're not looking at that. Y'all look at, oh, well, I'm just spending an extra 2 hours of my day helping our son get his homework done or doing this or doing that or whatever the case may be. But you're not looking at wear and tear this man may be putting on his body. I'm
So
talking
my
about the
question
apologize.
is, would you be willing to sacrifice that? Like, since as a man, you guys do sacrifice. So if you're saying is wear and tear in your body, if these extra hours is impacting your time to be with your family, what are you willing to sacrifice so you can minimize the damage to your body,
You
maximize the time
sacrifice
with
your
your
health.
family?
You
Huh?
sacrifice your physical health. You're
That's my
sacrificing,
point.
but you're sacrificing sleep. You're sacrificing your health. You're sacrificing a whole lot in order
I
to
agree.
For the family.
to live comfortably.
But that's my point, is what I'm saying. So on that end, you just named all of the things you're sacrificing because of work and because you want to give your family a certain lifestyle. What I'm saying is, are you willing to sacrifice the lifestyle and maybe downsize so then that way you can minimize the damage to your body, to your health, and all of that, maximize the time with your family, and live longer for them? Because I'm
So
quite
does
sure
your
they'll rather
You
have you
say,
around than hurt.
I don't know if you looked at how much it costs to rent an apartment anymore or a home if you rent that.
Mhm,
It's going about $1,200
mhm.
some places to rent. A
does your
house payment is going about 1,600. And these are not like it's you living in the most lavish house. You talk about maybe a 3-bedroom apartment, $1,200 a month. A 3 to 4 bedroom house, $1,600 a month. That's not that's that's not a drop in the bucket for some people.
No,
You
it's
know,
definitely not.
rent, OG&E, or I mean, we call it LG here. Your light and gas, your water, any maintenance that you may have to do as far as on your cars or anything like that. All of this stuff has gone up. Price of gas, groceries, all
Mhm.
that's going up. So it's not like it's cheap. So most people have to work those type of hours.
He live in
Especially
Kentucky.
if you have a woman who doesn't, maybe she doesn't work because you prefer her to stay home and raise the kids, in the case may be. So you might have to work those type of hours, them long drawn out hours, or maybe both of y'all have to work them hours, but your wife doesn't have to work the overtime. She could just work her between 30 and 40 hours and call it a day and do your thing.
And no, like I'm not going to sacrifice any of that because I'm not going to willingly I'm not going to sacrifice the time at work so the less money, even though I'm a salary person, but I'm not going to sacrifice that because the smiles that I get when I'm able to take them out on the boat when I do get time with them, or the fact that they can pick up their friends to go to school because they're the only ones with a car, right? So no, I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing, regardless of what it's doing to me, so that they have to sacrifice. I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Listen, you don't think that they would be just as happy as if you took them to the park and put them on the sweet? Like, I don't know the age of your kids, so I'm just
16 and
saying.
18.
So, well,
Yeah, I'm not
okay, you're
pushing my
not going
7-year-old son
far
on the screen.
now. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is when I think about my childhood, the memories that I had typically were not memories that cost a lot of money. It was a lot of memories that I had that were great, were experiences that I had with family, like going to see my grandmother, running around in their yard, getting in their vegetable garden. It was things that it was the family experience. Now, that's not to say that we did go to Disney World one time. That was a great experience, but that was once. We didn't travel a lot as a family. The money wasn't there. It took us a long time to get to the point where we were able to go to, Disney World. That was that one trip. And not to say it wasn't fun, it was great. But in the grand scheme of things, when I think about the experiences that I had, it did not cost a lot of money, is what I'm saying. I think a lot of times, like what you said, you want your kids to do better than what you did growing up. You wanted to give them a better life. A lot of times, sometimes that better life may not necessarily have anything to do with money. It could be just showing up.
I
If
think
you're
that
from a single parent household, both of you and your wife or whatever, you've already given them a better life just by having two parents. And I'm not
So
saying things don't matter, but I just think we got to get to the foundation of what family is and means. And a lot of times we say money is what's going to help the family, and we sacrifice the family in pursuit of that. That's all I was trying to say.